Podcast.
Kaboom.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, that guy going?
World, people. Good morning, Australia.
Super duper.
Good evening, Hong Kong. Random times made up. Doesn't matter.
Hello,
Don't think
North
about it too
Korea. Hello, Vietnam.
It's been a long time. I've been meaning to say hello to you.
Oh, tea.
And Merry Winter Solstice. When was Winter Solstice? Comes up soon, right?
I don't know.
I think the longest day comes up right around now.
I don't know. I don't believe in that hippie shit.
Fuck hippies. I'm aware. So, what's new? How you feeling? You
Feeling like shit.
Yeah, you got a little bit of the
sickness got me. It's got the grip.
Berlin cold.
It's got the grip.
Everyone gets the Berlin cold right after New Year's. Go figure.
Well, it's because all these other fuckers are sick as shit, and I'm around all these people that are sick. And now here we go.
God bless handling food.
God bless them.
God bless handling food.
God bless them.
So
you get out of a restaurant, you're getting sick. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of inevitable at this point in time. Who was it? Someone was telling me recently that they were rereading Kitchen Confidential. He was going through and talking about how the best meals he's ever had has been in the dirtiest kitchens. It does stand to reason. Makes sense.
Does it?
I mean, kind of if you're going for authentic, right? Isn't the taste of the gravel, the fish laying on the street in the middle of Bangkok, kind of add to the flavor that is food from Bangkok?
I mean, if you like the taste of dirt, sure.
A dirk dirk.
Dirk did you too? Did you record on Audacity? Is it going?
Oh yeah,
oh,
she's been live.
Right.
She's been going for a while.
Right on.
Becoming professionals here, man.
Yeah.
What is this, number 28?
29?
I think 29, 28.
30?
Well, it's marked as 28, so the first
that's
two
28.
never
Cool.
existed. What's new?
Oh,
What's going on in
Saturday
the world
today?
Is the world burning? Is there
yeah. So Paris is burning right now.
yeah, the riots are still going on.
No. There was a gas leak at like a bakery or something, at a restaurant, and firefighters showed up. There was a fire, and then there was an explosion, and 2 firefighters died.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks like a huge. You see like the pictures on the news of like the aftermath of the shit, and it just
Is this
like,
connected to the riots at all, or is
no? It's just a gas leak that got out of control.
Transportation riots still going on?
Yeah, I believe they're still hip and hot.
Hippity
hop. Don't stop the rock. Go to bang bang boom boom boom. But yeah, it's still going on.
What day are we on in the government shutdown now? Do we have a clock going?
Oh, where's the doomsday?
Yeah, I haven't had. We're gonna get a lost clock. And
I saw a great Twitter
time
post from someone. It's like Trump said he's running the government just like he runs his businesses. Casino shut down. Trump Steaks shut down.
That's not
Trump
true,
the
though.
Game shut down. Trump Magazine shut down.
If you wanted to make a comparison to the only business that he's seen to have true success in is hospitality, that entire industry is based off of empathy, and he's not exactly the most empathetic person.
Oh, he's great, isn't he? Keeping
Only
the
the
world
best.
safe.
Keeping the world safe, one Trump at a time. He's the president that America deserves, right?
When's the wall coming?
I don't know.
Still waiting on the wall.
No, did you see all that? They were giving him a lot of shit because the border security was practicing. They drilled a hole through what was the proposed metal slats they're going through, and so they're giving a lot of shit for that. You seen these?
No.
It's like a random hole.
Building hole.
It'd be a lot of work, though. Have you ever tried sawing through steel? You're trying to. They always have those infomercials of like people with chef knives and they're trying to cut through a PVC pipe, whatnot. I don't know if you ever tried to do that before. It's fucking impossible.
The blade's still sharp.
Yeah,
it virtually cuts itself. Virtually.
Easy as cutting through that tomato. It's like a.
That's something. That's all those infomercials. Always, they say like it's virtually whatever. What does that even mean?
Mind blown,
Like,
man.
what does that mean, man?
Mind blown, man. I don't know. What does it mean?
And it virtually stays sharp. Like, what do you... Like, is that just a buzzword that sounds cool, putting in front of a bunch of other things?
Like saying literally before everything. It's literally the only way it
literally.
could be.
No. It's virtually. We're living in the day and age where it's just like, well, maybe it's fake. Maybe I have to put on VR goggles and actually cut this knife.
How close are we to this?
Sorry,
I watched a TED Talk this morning with Jack on a girl that had worked in the video game industry for however many years, and she is working for this thought kind of think tank. And essentially what her research has come to is that if people in the world played about 4 times as many video games as they play now, chances are that humanity would actually be better off for it. And this is the whole argument that I've had of, like, the next generation has a level of empathy that makes us almost feel uncomfortable, in the sense of you play Xbox with a kid from China. You can't argue the same thing like with Vietnam War or even Iraq War. Like, it's weird because the Iraq War has had this transition period where, to start, we still had a level of ignorance where propaganda could get across, and you were still kind of selling, like, America was selling to the people this idea of taking out this foreign savage. However, nowadays that seems preposterous because no one's a savage, but it's because we understand and we have different reference points in our past, such as like playing Xbox with the kid in China or whatever, Kazakhstan, whatnot, and how this is taken off. So as long as the next generation comes forward, stands to reason. We'll be much happier place. Video games are going to save the world.
If I got stuck in a matchmaking game with someone from China, I usually quit the game.
Yeah, but that's because of team play. If you can't communicate, it's a very hard thing. You're going to 2-on doubles.
Sorry, that was an
except for Wii tennis.
That was bad taste in racism.
Chinese partner's always great at the Wii tennis.
Oh, have you got Super Smash Brothers yet?
It's a true story. No.
Oh man.
No, I've been on the whole free game
kick.
Yeah, exactly. This entire idea of games becoming much more accessible to the world, essentially making it the equivalent to like a basketball. That's that whole argument right now with Ninja going on about making too much money.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. That entire the world is changing so fast and so quick. Like,
free to play games, they're not really free.
I don't know, man. So I got a little in the Hearthstone. And the whole fact of the matter is you can essentially play that free and like you can pay and it will help you avoid the grind. It's essentially paying to skip the grind, but you can still grind and get there.
I think that's fucking stupid.
No, there's
great business model.
As long as it's set decks and you can go through and you can be competitive in a basic
from a user's point of view, that's fucking shit.
Yeah, it's absolute shit. But it's not pay to win if you can still win without paying. You know what I mean? It's more like paying to speed it up. Paying to be lazy.
Just like, yeah, DLCs in the end. Stupid.
DLCs are fucking annoying. If the game itself was already beautiful and wonderful and this masterpiece to begin with, and the DLC is almost like them giving a cheapened version of a sequel to a movie just to extend it, you know? Like, I can respect that because that's investing something into something you already have the infrastructure and getting it to
it's the new expansion pack, like, you know.
Well, I mean, I mean, compared to what wasn't that the problem with Destiny? Is that everything was based off of an expansion pack?
I don't know. I never played Destiny, but like,
neither did I. But the games themselves being made with the expansion packs, the DLCs in mind. That's just where's the purity? I mean, I get it, but if the AAA game actually was that much better, you know what I'm saying? But now you can have a guy go out and make fucking a Harvest Moon knockoff and have 100 million people play it.
True.
And it's still just as fun. Don't knock the indie games. I'm all about the indie games. It's all the classics.
I'm not knocking indie games.
No, I mean, like, what else gives you the ability to have the experience of playing, like, the first time you play Galactica? Like, Galactica, yes, or Space Invader. Or Mrs. Pac-Man. Yeah, Galaga. And you got the joystick and the 3, and it's going off of quarters. Like, you don't get that experience anymore. That's a sad day. I find it interesting. So here, obviously, arcades are a little bit different. We live in Germany. And arcades are a bit different, and they fall under, like, gambling and gaming laws. However, you can go into a video game museum, pay $8, and then you can just run around in what is essentially an arcade.
Yeah.
Still. That's kind of nice. It's like
you've been to that museum, right?
A couple times.
Yeah.
Just sit in the arcade and play. And they have Paperboy. They have fucking Paperboy. I haven't played Paperboy since I was like 7, 6. Is that NES? That game is fucking hard.
You know what's one I went back to is Commander. It's like the original Civilization.
Command and Conquer?
No, Commander.
No.
I believe that's what it's called. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, it's Risk, but Civilization style. But it's all about domination. It's all about domination. Sorry, I have a cold.
What do you think is better? Do you think that a board game has more longevity and shelf life than a board game based video game?
Well, what was that?
You know what I mean?
That scene in Back to the Future 2?
Jumanji.
The kid,
Jumanji.
Marty McFly.
Are we gonna have a Jumanji moment? I fucking love Jumanji.
He went into the cafe and there's kids playing with the arcade. Then Marty McFly walks over and he's fucking gunslinging. Fucking just aces the game. And the kids look at him and he's like, "You mean you have to use your hands? That's a baby's toy."
It's true though. I mean, how far are we off from? So the entire deal of Moore's law affecting the processing power of computers, microchips, like it. If we are supposed to continue on in the, basically, going, how far off do you think before we are inevitably just by the equation going to be bound to virtual reality? You reckon?
How far off?
20 years? 30 years? Yeah, before
Yeah,
people
20.
start to choose it in full time.
The lesser side of 20, I'd say.
Because that's going to be the option, right?
Nah.
The option's going to be
I mean, this VR shit's just getting
become a
crazier and
cyborg
crazier.
or retract to VR. It's going to be how we avoid the apocalypse.
So you're saying the Matrix is true?
Yeah. Except for the whole battery thing. What is that bullshit? Human beings are batteries. That's the most efficient way you got to it.
I mean,
Delicious tea.
yeah, that's pretty good. Goddamn. Shit. No, it's... Won't be batteries. Will... I don't know. Just waiting for the big crash.
Hit me up with the big crash. What do you think the actual... If you're to go from the first 5 steps, what are the next 5 steps to the big crash? Or have we already started the process we're going through? When I say
Just rising interest rates. Banks being forced to raise interest rates. Housing prices collapsing again. Which I think in Germany, that's going to, at least in Berlin, that's going to happen soon.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think the housing collapse is going to happen soon. How can that be? They're out building
Well, if interest rates go up, then bam, your prices are going to drop.
This is true. You want to explain to
So
people
once
why
they
this
drop,
would be the case?
then people are going to lose out.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bunch of big
Well, break
winners
down
that
the-
are actually waiting on the fucking...
Why don't you explain to people why that's the case with interest rates rising, that prices themselves drop?
Well, interest rates are so low right now, there's only one way to go.
Yeah, but why is this the case? Do people end up buying houses with lower interest rates that cost more because they know that they're not going to have to pay as much on the money that they borrowed back?
Well, they're buying it at a price. They're buying it at a high right now.
Yeah.
Or a mid, I guess. How long you want to look at it.
But why is it higher mid? Can you explain it?
Why is it higher mid?
Yeah, why are the prices right now considered higher mid based off the fact that the interest rates are low? How does the interest rates being low affect the price of housing?
Because you're paying less for the house in the long run, and then if you're looking to sell that place, or you're looking to store your store money. Say you have a bunch of money, you have $100,000. And you buy an apartment
in the backyard.
You buy
No,
an apartment for $100,000.
Buy an apartment off the strip in Vegas, right?
Interest rates rise, prices fall.
Let's not do an apartment. Let's do an apocalyptic farm.
A farm.
Yes.
Any land or anything. Any house or whatever. Your interest rates rise, your prices are going to drop, and then the market's going to be like, well, shit, I can't sell my fucking house right now because now the value, it's less than actually how much I bought it for. So you're going to be at a loss. But then there's going to be all those people that are like, well, shit, I want to buy. But because the market's already sucked up with everything, nobody can fucking sell. Nobody can buy because everybody's looking to sell. And when you have more sellers than buyers, prices are going to fucking free fall.
It's an apocalypse scenario.
Yeah, 2008. But
2008.
bigger.
Yeah. Okay. So, as I was going through and reading up on this Moore's Law and where they were getting for the processing power and how far along we actually are, one of the things to say is that the ultimate goal and the ultimate end is that we end up creating nanobots that have the ability to replicate food and stuff on such a small level that we can create our universe and future around us. This would essentially mean the end to money, right? You've just created the replicator.
Yeah.
From there. By the way, Earl Grey hot. That was for you. Just making sure.
That's good.
The captain knows. What would the captain do?
Earl Grey tea. I want a replicator.
But if you know a replicator is coming and you're within technology's grasp, do you think that the general society will remain ignorant on the fact? Or you think that, like if you see that a replicator's coming in the next 5 years.
As a farmer, you're going to be
then
fucked.
What do you care about money?
Yeah.
In general.
Well,
in general,
short term, yeah. Long term, great.
You know what I'm
saying? Short term,
like,
it's going to be...
What would that look like? The 5 years prior to you knowing that technology is getting to the point where they're very soon going to be able to replicate stuff that means that money no longer matters.
If you can replicate something like
that?
Something like chicken, but it's not a live chicken, but you have something that's been created to imitate chicken so well that people see it as an easy alternative, then you're going to see slaughterhouses no longer slaughtering animals.
They were getting at the fact that it apparently is inevitable for technology to rise to a point that nanobots would essentially be able to fuck with the building blocks of life.
Yeah.
And that's how a replicator is going to be. So a replicator is not going to be actually us replicating based off of a recipe that you have in a file bank. But it's going to be a gajillion little nanobots coming out with the one idea to program a piece of chicken, and they create a piece of chicken from nothing, which means it is a piece of chicken. We've just learned how to create chicken from nothing.
Yeah, but then
that's the end game, because then it's not a question on whether or not
if you're going to do that, then you can probably create human beings.
Without
they
a
have
doubt.
Consciousness.
For sure.
Would the singularity happen then?
This is post-singularity. This is the argument, obviously.
Yeah.
They reckon that we get to that point once artificial intelligence is the building.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And once robots take over and the great robot war of 2066 happens.
Do you think it's going to be violent, though? Okay, this is what I was getting. Yeah. I'm not sure, because I guarantee that they're going to have to give an option, right? Either become a cyborg and make it so you can keep up, or go into a virtual reality that is larger and more expansive and you have more of ability to explore it for an endlessness beyond here, an even crazier world and universe than the one we're in, or die.
Oh, I think they'd go extreme.
No, I'd reckon that they would give you choices. I reckon that we'd have options. I reckon that we would have options and ways to...
They go full Vulcan on that shit. Be like, what's the most logical step? Get rid of them. What's the point? Wasted time. We don't need them anymore.
No, because there'd still be something.
Because once they can create themselves, then bam, there you go. That's a whole... We just created a species.
Yeah, but okay. Couldn't you argue the fact that if the code was written into it based off the master lines that says that do not harm any other being, such as, this is what they're essentially saying. That the big problem with artificial intelligence is them coming down to what is the base code to make it so that no matter what, every action that occurs afterwards falls back onto this, which is going to keep our asses safe from destroying ourselves. I have to... So dangerous.
Noonien Soon.
I like it. It's so dangerous.
Created 2 androids. One was Data, one was Lore. Lore ended up being evil.
But Lore was evil because it was the tester product.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck. You're right. However, you can go Blade Runner route on it, and Blade Runner...
Where they don't know they're robots?
But are they robots?
If they don't...
him going and the newer models being more efficient to take out the older models, and us getting better at making robots that are even better than the ones we made previously. Same reason, we already have the ability to have robots to do stuff. Inside the shop, so for the world who doesn't know, I own a pizza shop. Inside the shop, where it can get it so that dough balls can be rolled out by a machine for us. That is a robot. It may not smile and talk to you, but then you go back and you visit the States every once in a while, and you have a soft drink machine that smiles at you and is interactive, and you want to play with it. And you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's here, right? So, if it's here, and it's inevitable, it's here, it's unavoidable, then we can't argue it, does that not mean it's time to start thinking of the apocalypse? Hold down. What's the plan, Steve?
I actually had this conversation the other day at the studio. Like, what's the end game in the zombie apocalypse?
Conversation.
Like, where do you go, especially in Berlin, big ass city? You're most likely going to get fucked.
Communication issues. So you say that, but we're on the outskirts. We're just
Not
close
really,
enough.
dude. This isn't even. We're still on the inner ring. Like, this is.
No, we're outside the ring.
I know we're still in like the inner. Like, if you were to keep on going out to east, you'd still have to deal with Marzahn, which is fucking huge. Past that, blah, blah, blah.
But I'm not talking about the actual size. I'm talking about the density of population. Because the density of population where you go, I mean, us being in Europe in comparison, like Europe and Asia, Africa, South America are not the places that you necessarily want to be when it comes to population density. Right. If you're going to go for a zombie apocalypse, right? You know, like a zombie fallout. Zombie fallout? Meh. That's only one version, though, right? For doomsday preppers, this is what I always hated about doomsday preppers. With doomsday preppers, they always had it where it was a dude that was preparing for one very specific scenario. I hate that. Why? That's so stupid. Why are you going for one very specific? I'm prepping for the doomsday scenario where Mount St. Helena's exploding up, and I'm a firefighter already, so I'm gonna go through and here's how I do it with my kids. It's like
could have gone on vacation with my kids, but I decided to buy another couple can of beans. Beans don't expire for years.
I run my children through drills every morning. Look at them. They're happy. Look at that smile. I'm scared, Dad. Get back in the closet. You can't carry that backpack. You're going to die, and I will leave you behind.
Nah, I just...
Sorry, I blacked out for a moment there. It was a Shantax stream.
No, I don't think anybody here is fucking prepped.
Well, I mean, I'd heard someone...
Kind of hard to prep in a city with 1 billion people.
That's, I mean...
a couple million.
For the majority of people that are living in cities, though, so what do you do? I mean, does that mean you're going to you need to go get a plot of land outside of the city, or does it mean learn your surroundings so that if the time ever comes, you know your territory better than the next man?
You have to...
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Around here, there's got to be bunker tunnels. There's got to be. And there's enough abandoned buildings you could run around. I mean,
I would... Once again, it comes down to what zombies we're looking at.
Are we looking at zombies, though?
Looking at World War Z zombies. We're looking at...
I'm not even saying it's necessarily zombies. I'm saying preparing for everything in general.
Yeah. No. Listen. Because people are going to be ending... They're going to be zombies. Like... Okay. That's the way I'm going to look at it.
Okay.
Like, expendable. Am I crazy to think that way?
This is come on, man. This is the end game. Survival is the utmost. You grab your friends, you grab your family, you grab those that you will help you survive.
Sorry, there's going to be fucking...
There's a line with friends and family too.
There will be blood on my hands.
They cannot be dead weight. Yeah, I mean, if it's dead weight, cut it loose.
Someone's coming at you with a machete, man. You want to machete him first. Know what I'm saying?
Are they actually coming at you with machete, or is this a South Park? They're coming right for us moment.
Both.
He's coming right for us.
There's one. He's still alive.
Look at that. Squeal for him, my boy. Grab your big toes and squeal for him.
All right, boys. We get to eat tonight.
Got bacon for breakfast.
We got a 130-pounder over here. How long would a human feed you?
About a week.
You think?
I do.
A week?
I mean, it depends on the amount of people. I'm saying that if you have 3 of you, let's say you got a squad of 3.
Well, we'd be killing the fattest one, so there'd only be 2.
No, this is a highly densely populated area. You're gonna find the fattest one and you're gonna kill him yourself. This is how the apocalypse works. All right.
Have to well, food, water would be the worst.
Yeah, but that's easy. Go find an REI. Just go find an
Just
outdoor
go find
store.
an REI. Yep, no, there you go, Jake.
I guarantee
that's super easy.
Okay, so we get a water purifier. That's easy to prepare for, though. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, shit.
No, we're still alive.
Sorry.
Language.
Zombies.
Christ almighty. Don't you fucking understand we're attempting to be a family show?
Christians.
All I'm saying is that a child would make perfect for like a little mini roaster chicken. So the apocalypse is easily, it's portable, you're ready to go.
Not much weight on that. Throw in the backpack. So the children
bag.
would go first.
It's a Ziploc bag.
Oh god, that would suck so bad to be stuck with a kid like that.
You say that. but I mean, there's got to be upsides to it too. Depends on the age of the kid. If the kid is at uncontrollable crying, can't understand the world age, and that's a maneuverable age. You know, like a child who's reared in a third world country is going to be a slightly more understanding of what the fuck it means to survive and what reality of the situation is, opposed to a kid who's being raised working a fucking iPad. A little bit easier.
You saw that? What was that? Jerry Brown, Jones Brown. What? That British guy, that mentalist.
Darren Brown.
Darren Brown. Yeah, he did that zombie show.
Epic.
Where
God, that was
like
epic.
Put a kid into a zombie apocalypse scenario, stuck with a kid. And then like towards the end, they like got a helicopter at this base or whatever. And the guy runs to the helicopter. He's like, "Oh, we gotta go back for the kid." And everyone's like, "No, we gotta go now."
No,
and then he fucking goes and tries. He gets the kid again.
And the helicopter.
I would have been, "Fuck
away.
no, man! Fly me the fuck out of here! Get me out of here!"
I never would have let the kid split away from me in the first
That's
place.
true, yeah.
That's what bothered me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you're in a life or death situation. You know, you got this kid with you, and you're gonna let the kid run. No, you pick up that kid by the back of their shirt and you fucking drag him to the helicopter. They don't have a choice. This is survive, and you're responsible. You're gonna put your survival's responsibility in a 12-year-old's hand? Nope,
Well,
that's yours.
With that, like the zombies were running around. They're all actors. Like,
Unless we're
pretty
talking,
lucky
like,
they didn't get a fucking 2x4 to the face or some shit.
I also thought about this. I would have easily decked someone out. They're saying scratching. Here's also the thing that gets me. They always talk about scratching in a zombie apocalypse. How long is it supposed to take for someone's fingernails to grow? And if you're dead already, are your fingernails going to keep growing? If you got fresh clipped fingernails and you end up dying, you're a zombie, you're not going to scratch anything.
Yeah, but under your fingernails, so much bacteria and shit already.
Yeah,
so
but they always do it for the scratch.
Yeah,
I'm saying, but I'm not sure I could scratch my hand. I could never, I'm not even sure. Maybe. Could scratch to blood.
So you'd be an inefficient zombie, is what you're saying.
I'd be an efficient zombie killer. There's so many ways. There's so many options that they never explore with the entire zombie apocalypse, like starving them out. Do zombies not starve?
They do during what the fuck was that? 28 Days Later.
They starved out the zombies?
Yeah.
Oh, I quarantine them on the island.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Oh,
You say that, but then why was there 29 days later?
Huh?
You say that, but then why was there 29 days later?
What? 28 weeks later.
Yeah.
Because then another one broke out.
Exactly. So
Right.
can you starve them? You can't starve bacteria. You can starve the carrier of the bacteria, but the bacteria will continue on, right?
Sure.
Does that mean that you're never safe?
Depends, I guess.
Oh, that just made my mind hurt.
Well,
If you're surrounded by a bunch of dead bodies that are all covered in the zombie plague, then they're still not safe, right?
well, old people would be fucked.
Because it's a virus. Well, yeah, but I mean, in general.
Actually,
people and
kids would probably have the best survival instincts just because video games.
It's very arguable, yes. Not only that, but hold on. There we go. They're small. They can crawl into tiny places.
Yeah.
When you're a child and you have
When shit hits
less
the fan, you can just give 'em a
experience,
little boot
that means
and
that
kick 'em out.
your adaptation to survival mode is that much quicker, right? You don't have to erase any more information. Think of the amount of people that will be like holding on to that information of being an accountant when the zombie apocalypse happens because they're like, oh, it might end. I got to hold on to this information. Forget that shit or you die.
Well, it'd be a game changer for sure.
Game changer.
What's going on with the Paris riots?
I don't know. I was checking to see if they were continuing to go.
Oh, here's a good question. Who's going to cave first, Trump or the Dems?
I think he's going to pull state of emergency move on it. I think he's going to pull an Obama with Obamacare, and everyone's going to slap their heads and be like, well, I wish I hadn't just ignored the fact that that was unconstitutional. Can't get something passed, and so you just put in an emergency state of emergency?
Yeah, why not?
Every fucking president does it. They do it. They end up getting gridlocked. They get stuck on something, and then they do an emergency. And then the next one happens, and everyone goes, oh my god, you're going to end the world by making this decision. And then the fucking pendulum swings to the other side, and everyone looks at each other and they go, "Oh my god, the world's gonna end because this dude's decision." Everyone does it. Everyone's a bunch of hypocrites, and everyone needs to lighten up.
So you're saying the wall is going to get built or get funded?
I reckon, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I do too.
He's gonna, I mean, Obamacare got funded. I love Obamacare, don't get me wrong. Like, the fact that people are benefited, there was plenty of unconstitutional stuff that comes with it, like making it mandatory for someone to get it. Sure, I understand that it costs more money. I do it, however, since when do we go for what is cheapest as opposed to what is best for civil liberties? It's America.
I don't know. I'm too selfish.
Well, a little bit. I mean, it's healthy to be a bit selfish, though, right?
Of course.
You can't.
And that's the
always
argument.
be
It's just like I want to be
thinking about
selfish.
other
I don't want to pay for other people's shit.
I don't want to pay for a wall.
Like,
What do you think about the idea of someone who pays a certain amount of taxes having the ability to choose what it is that their money goes towards? Do you think that would help with people actually paying taxes and people not being all corrupt and the Illuminati growing? Like, have you heard of this? This is the coolest thing. Have you heard of?
if you got to choose your taxes, I fucking so many. Why would you pay taxes?
No, it'd be people. No, it'd be choosing for what it is that your taxes go for.
Oh, yeah,
you still have to pay a certain amount, but let's say you contribute over $150,000 towards the
you get to
overall,
choose what it's actually going towards.
You get to opt out of the military if you
That-
wanted full defense spending.
Yeah, but that would be.
Do you think this would cause people to not avoid taxes?
That would just kind of avoid the whole lobbying shit anyway.
Yeah, it's
Like you get a law passed, you get that benefits your company. You're gonna fucking if you want. Let's say you get a grant.
I'm not saying your vote gets to be any higher. I'm just saying you get to choose your taxes.
Right. I think that would just avoid a lot of. It would create a problem where if you have a lot of money and you have it invested in somewhere, then it's going to create more of an oligarchy, if you will. Because the people with all the money are going to choose where their money's going.
You say that, but I'm more thinking along the lines of people who avoid paying taxes in the first place. That if they felt that they had the choice for what it is that their taxes are going towards, if they would be more likely to pay their taxes.
No, because if they don't want to pay the taxes, they're not going to pay the tax. And you give them that you give them even giving that out for them. I don't see why you'd want to. If you're not paying taxes anyway, why would you want to pay them?
Well, have you heard of this? So there's this uprise in the amount of
Unless
people.
it directly benefits you somehow.
There's a major uprise in these type of people that are classified as stateless, right? So I met someone once upon a time when I was in Australia. It was like the first year that I left the States. And there's this guy, and he's originally Brazilian, and he had gotten to the States. He'd gone through his green card process, but after he had revoked his citizenship to Brazil in order to get his American citizenship, he got busted selling marijuana, and so they revoked his green card and kicked him out. But because he had already given up his passport from Brazil and he hadn't gotten his passport from America, and he's now kicked out of America, States, it meant that he was stateless. He was a man with no country, so he was illegal everywhere that he was. Mm-hmm. And then I met him in Australia, and he was the first person I met at this. And then recently I had read an article that was going on the fact that the number of people that are stateless in order to avoid taxes is hugely on the rise. And there's people that don't really consider themselves a citizen of any country, and because of that, they don't have to pay taxes, and they just spend however much time out of the year living just following themselves on their tourist things because they own properties everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's insane.
That's badass.
That's the best
though.
loophole.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Tell me that's not the basis for a Hollywood movie. I read this article and was like standing on the edge, and I should not have been. It was a boring article. It was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever heard. Looking.
I can't.
And work on that smashing
imagine.
loud epic keyboard. Gotta go down there. Eduardo Severin.
That's insane. Especially if you're rich as fuck.
It is insane.
You're, what's his name?
In the meantime, we'll just play a
Rob
video of
Schneider
Ryan
doing?
Schneider.
You should work that. I gotta ask ask you, we were just talking about this, there's so much news in comedy these days.
Yes,
There's
I'm
almost
scared.
like a comedy entertainment section.
I'm scared.
You are scared. because-
Comedians are the ones who's supposed to say the horrible things
And you
that
can't.
everybody thinks and doesn't say.
Rob
You know,
Schneider.
the idea that comedians
What do you
are
think the
supposed to
cutoff
be,
in median age
the
of people who
role
enjoy
models
Rob
for
Schneider
other
is?
people? It's like, these people are sick.
I don't trust anybody who doesn't like Rob
They're
Schneider.
living with their pain, and a comedy club is a place to get that. It used to be a safe.
You trust
space.
anyone who doesn't like
I
dogs?
do not allow cell phones anymore in shows.
I don't trust anybody.
If somebody takes a cell phone out, I get upset. And you have to put them in bags.
That's a smart way to go, but also
There's a company
you
that
gotta
can be
find a bulb.
deterrent,
You're taking
right?
it seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting phone call. I need a bag. What is in the bag?
Oh,
full?
chick's a babe.
For the cell phone. Okay, hang on. And so they got like about, I ordered a couple
You
thousand.
do like the way your teeth look.
Wait, what's he
Got
saying
some
about this
pretty
shit? Oh, the Kevin Hart shit.
Wow, it seems a bit.
the Kevin Hart shit?
What did he say? He said something about gay people, or I don't know. But he backed out of doing the what was it? The Academy Awards? Was it? Yeah,
Yeah, Oscars.
something like that.
Oscars. Why?
Because he said some gay shit on Twitter, and then people are like, "Oh,
And so he
Said
chose
some
to
gay
back
shit.
out of it. Yeah. What? Homophobic shit? Or?
yeah, something like that." I don't know what it was, but then, yeah, he backed out. People are like, "Oh, he's a homophobe or some shit." I'm not sure of the details of that one. You know they're making another Jumanji movie. Did you see that one with
Sorry.
The Rock?
This is one of the reasons why they're saying that the number of stateless people is on the rise, because America is one of the very few countries in the world that continues to tax their residents the same as even when they're not living inside the states.
Mm-hmm.
And so because you get this double tax, and we're the only country in the world to do it,
Excuse me.
and this makes America's Pluto tax.
Who's he?
Eduardo
Alright, God
7
bless.
is the large
Bless you.
next one.
Who?
Eduardo 7.
Hey, didn't that guy from Amazon just get divorced?
Uh,
Devos? Is his name?
yeah.
Yeah?
Divorced.
Yeah.
Divorced.
Married to that lady for like 20 some odd years. Now he's at 180 grand billion net worth. Guess he wanted to get divorced. Which, good on her. Great investment plan.
Well, I mean, come on.
Long term. That's a long game.
If you're running a company that's that big, that's going that hard and that much, do you really have time for a relationship?
Sure.
Bullshit.
Look at
There's
Trump.
no way. Dude.
That dude doesn't stop working. He doesn't stop working for you. Man, I can't believe people don't like Trump. It's amazing. It's amazing. Talk about a guy
This is the
that's
richest
just
man in the world now, right? Jeff Bezos.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. What'd I say? Yeah.
Yep. First thing that comes
Bezos' divorce might be handled as quickly as an Amazon delivery. That's pretty quick, dude. Amazon rocks. What was it? Him? What does Bezos' divorce mean for Amazon investors? Shouldn't mean anything.
God, she's hot. Milfing it.
It's 180,000 fucking jillion dollars. So why doesn't he have hair if he has so much money?
Because a bald man psychologically comes off as more masculine and powerful, and he's smart enough to know that, so he chose to let himself go bald because it was the better strategic play.
Does it? Does it?
Yeah, psychologically.
Does it?
They've
Does it? Looks like Mr. Clean.
They've taken, they do is they'll take like random samples of people, and yes, I understand that random samples in itself is very shit. But regardless, if you take away the lines of random samples and you actually look at an overall study of just all the people, if you were to take 10,000 random people, fuck off the sampling part, and you're to ask them, here a picture of 500 dudes, here a picture of 500 chicas, which ones do you find attractive? What quality traits do you think that they hold? What they found is that a bald-headed man is considered to be stronger and more alpha. They're more likely to listen to him, and they're found more as charismatic. That's more of them. And they go through. It's interesting.
But he's got 180 $1,000 billion.
He's the richest man in the world. He passed Bill Gates.
Elon Musk has hair now.
Okay, here's my question, though. Did Jeff Bezos surpass Bill Gates?
Yeah. Thought he did a couple months ago, right? A year ago? I'm pretty sure he did.
He did pass him. My question is, did Bill Gates give away enough money that it made it so that he passed him because Bill Gates had just given
I
away
don't
the
think
money?
Bill Gates
Or do
can
you
give
think-
enough money away to... He probably... I imagine he makes more than he actually gives away.
Did you know that Bill and Melinda Gates
That was
have
a
been
stupid
knighted?
comment,
And so
but
it's
yeah.
he's considered
Yeah.
both, but because they're not from England, they can't hold the title Sir or Dame. And so if you're knighted but you're not English, you don't get the prefix of Sir. You have to have it at the end of your name. That's based off of, because there's like 4 fraternities that you can be knighted by the Queen under, and each of them have their own acronym. And so it wouldn't be Sir Bill. It would be Bill Gates OBE.
But don't you get
Stands
land?
for
You get land
Order
too,
of-
don't you? They give you a plot of land.
No, you're thinking House of Lords. That's the only benefit there is to being knighted,
Yeah.
is the name and prestige. But if you're a House of Lord, it meant that as democracy went into place and you were previously a part of the overruling regime during the monarchy, you still now collect money off of all portions of taxes paid by the British people.
That's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
That
Fucking back-ass.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that when it comes to like arguments and it comes to shit that people have talked to me, English people always talk the most shit, and we'll bring it on. I can defend and I'll fight back and we'll fuck around and have a good time with it. Everyone loves a little scuffle now and then. I'm just saying that if you come from a country where you guys have a House of Lords that are still collecting money for doing absolutely nothing except for the fact that they had the right inbred bloodline at one point in time, that's what happens. I'm sorry. Fuck you. Did you ever see, like, in the last 2 years, there's a huge... no, we're going to skip that topic because I keep hitting it and it gets
What?
really negative. Nothing.
What?
Pedophilia.
Why do you always gotta go to pedophilia,
See, you're
man?
saying
Like,
what?
Jesus.
It wasn't the point. It was...
Why you gotta always talk about...
they had...
Do you have strong
trafficking.
desires? Is this a Shantax dream?
No, I'm just convinced Illuminati
Jesus
is real. Shantax tree. I'm just saying, look at that face. You're going to tell me that he's not... That man's got plans. He's got plans, and I'm not sure that they're Google good. Because at least Google's mission statement is, don't be evil. You
What was
heard
that
me.
that Philip Burr said in an interview one time? Like, all these rich guys are gonna start buying the water. Oh, we need to get the water! Kind of looks like he'd be one of those guys.
Definitely. Well, come on. When I was in Australia...
We gotta buy the water! Gotta get the water! Hang on to the water. Now I control the water.
They do, though. They have a... When I was in Australia, they
Amazon
were
water
shipping
packs.
in... No, it was Cargill. Whatever. Dick Cheney's company was the one that was producing and selling, providing water for the majority of agricultural land in Australia. And they would buy water by the kiloton. That's hilarious. That was literally it. Dick Cheney was literally selling the water to the farms that I was working on to grow grapes in Australia, and that was the big full circle of the world is small and we need to figure out how to play this game like they do, because this is ridiculous. Christ almighty, you can't even escape Dick Cheney's grasp, and like he'd shot someone in the face during the hunting accident while I was over there.
And he got away. Is he dead yet?
No. He still's got his fake heart that keeps ticking along though.
Jesus.
Like he's got the heart, or he's got a fake heart, this machine, so it doesn't beat.
Yeah.
And so he has no heartbeat.
That's what $1 billion could get you, man.
Magic Johnson's got a cure for AIDS. You tell me that my grandma would be okay if she played in the NBA?
Jesus Christ.
Money. It's the greatest cure for everything, apparently.
Selling the water. What a fucking guy.
Have you looked into the Sens Foundation?
The what?
So I've gotten a weird thing. I'm in a little bit of a tempting to get healthier and go on a little bit of a healthy kick. And so I've been looking into a lot of these guys that are like longevity people and nutritionists and going along.
Oh, like
So-
Alex Jones' male vitality potion?
No, not even close. So the Sens Foundation, hear me out. So the Sens Foundation is a foundation that when they first started, they were the only ones who were doing it, and they believed that fuck off cryogenics and all that stuff. Essentially, people are trying to oversimplify the problem of how it is that we're going to live forever. Then they look at it as look at a human being more like a car. And so a car in Cuba, where you end up getting this car that was ratio, and how is it that a car can be from 1947 but still look brand new years later. And it's just because over time, you took time to restore it. You made sure that you were ahead of it, and you made sure that it was taken care of so that it never ended up going bad. He goes, now look at the human body's the same way. And so now it breaks down into 6 different topics, apparently. And since this SENS Foundation came out, I heard a podcast on him, and it was like 5 years ago. And at that point in time, they had a budget of $5 million. And he was essentially asking for more money. Since then, it's now something like 13 different agencies and organizations that are working on this problem over this. And they've now actually have ones that have been published under regularly connected to that have it connected to 9 different topics. But essentially, it's the same thing. And it starts to break down just repairing your body. And it goes down. Have you ever looked at this? It's called SENS Foundation. It's interesting because they get in the question of like... SENS.
Yeah. Sense8.
Check in the bathroom at Salami. The Salami Social Club, there's a sticker on the bathroom of a guy who kind of looks like he's crazy and he runs a podcast. And it's on the top, it's sponsored by the SENS Foundation. I just noticed it the other day.
No shit.
Yeah.
So, how do you win? So, how do you get on this?
By taking care of yourself beforehand. They just follow this philosophy that it breaks down.
Reimagine aging. Oh, man, dude, that's like Umbrella Corporation.
Yep.
Fucking hell. You gotta be kidding me. Undoing Aging 2019.
So.
That's fucked. That's scary. Doesn't look like a very professional website.
Hold on. Could you just...
That's fake. Fake news.
Aubrey de Grey is the name of the guy that runs the foundation, and he was actually originally an engineer or a computer programmer, and he wasn't even a biologist.
Oh, he's that hippie fucking guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Great. Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to be here. It's been more than 10
Reimagine
years
aging.
since I was in Dublin.
The Master
so I'm
Wizard.
delighted to come back.
He looks like
especially to be part of
Gandalf the
this
Grey.
excellent
Hugh
event.
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman playing
I'm
Gandalf
wearing
the
this
Grey.
as well, just like Emma, and you will see that.
Hold on. Where's the...
Oh, yeah.
See it there.
I hope you're all having a wonderful time with it. Aubrey founded SENS Research Foundation with me and a handful of colleagues a few years ago, but this conference predates us by a number of years. So we're only part of the history of this conference and its overall effort. Since the last conference, SRF has grown considerably. Our research budget is now, our total budget is now about $5 million a year. Our message has improved. We've expanded outreach and education activities, which you can read about online. That complements our much expanded research.
Boring.
Whatever, these guys are shit at talking.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but essentially, that's it. And you take your body and you start to repair it like a car, and it gets into different parts. And so what they talk about is like, they used to have the argument that cholesterol was bad for us, right? That was what we learned growing up. And then you figured out that, well, cholesterol is not actually bad for you. And in fact, you actually need a lot of the fats that are from meat. What's problematic is that the cholesterol itself can be, it's called radical cholesterol.
Yeah.
And that's the one that ends up fucking you. And so that's where drinking green tea or something that has antioxidants in it helps cut back on this oxidized cholesterol that ends up getting in your system, and that's what clots and causes issues. And so like they're going through, and the Mayo Clinic released a book on it that I'll read, and we'll end up going back over this. But it's called the Longevity Diet, and they start going through and connecting to what it is that different things you can do to live longer in your life. And the entire argument is, well, even if you can extend your life by, let's say, 3 years, at this point in time, we're so close to having the ability to essentially use stem cells or nanotechnology in order to make us that we'll live forever, that who would want to miss the ability to live forever by a year? That would be horrible.
That's hyper reality.
Unless you
this.
Been living under a rock for the past few years, you've likely
Track
heard
your
of
enemy.
augmented
7
reality.
reasons why Ben Shapiro is so dominant in debates.
You probably even used it.
It's true.
Snapchat with a filter on it?
Can't fuck with
That's
that
a
guy.
classic example of AR.
He doesn't have to be right at all.
Remember when Pokemon Go fever captured the attention of the world? That's AR in action. Although it may not get the same level of media attention as its sexy cousin, virtual reality, augmented reality has the potential to dramatically change how we work, play, and learn. From school to the workplace.
That Google Glass failed.
On the road,
No, they're still going. They're still working on it. It keeps getting crazier and crazier. Yeah, what they've started to do is they're working on glasses that holographically projects LCD screens basically across your face.
The first hologram.
Just put like a mask on.
No, it would just look like some dope ass sunglasses, and the sunglasses themselves that have little screens projected onto there, and so you'll be able to play video games while you're out and about as if you had a full screen in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And so, let's say Fortnite, the fact that Fortnite is actually able to be played mobilely as well, it's cross-platform, so you can play Fortnite with and maybe with a powerful enough phone, you'll be able to be more in tune with it. Staying on top of technology, that's where it's fucking at. They've started to produce video game consoles that they have the idea of them like being created for third world countries that can be connected to internet so that people in third world countries can game too, like on actual consoles, like cheaper consoles and stuff. That's insane.
That shit would be sweet. Having a screen with a HUD in your car.
This is one of the
Like,
things that
that's-
Google Glass is working on. Like, they haven't really stopped. If you look into the amount of money that's going into augmented reality, it's increasing exponentially every single year. Like, it's being viewed just as much. Like you watched what's that show? Carbon
Fiber or carbon intoxicated carbon, augmented carbon.
that
Riders,
pretty close.
carbon-
Augmented carbon.
Carbon. God, purple carbon, purple rain,
Purple carbon.
purple cum dripper drip rain.
Cutter. Kutski.
Carbon.
Sorry. I don't know, but we.
Oh shit.
I meant to carbon, I think is what it is.
No. Altered carbon.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
There you go.
Spectacular show, regardless. But that entire deal that they have inside there of him being able to walk around and have it where you can either turn on the sensors or not, and then when they're on, you have the ability to see all this advertisement that's around you. Otherwise, with it turned off, it just looks like a random gray, dead, dark alleyway. Yeah. That's what it is that we're getting much closer to. And there's a whole bunch of guys. I was researching some companies. Can't think the name of it right now, but there's some guys that were working in China and some very large, like Chinese engineers that were working on prosthetics, high-end prosthetics, like soldiers, and they broke off and created this company, and they're really quiet, and no one's talking anything about it. And they recently came out with a thing. We'll have to find it another time. I cannot think of the name for like me. It gets put into the back of your neck, and it projects it directly through your eyes. And so it uses, and so like the video is a guy with his hand out, and it's like a little fairy dancing around inside his hand, looking at him because it's been connected through the brain, so that it's being seen through the eyeballs. Or I mean, it's being read by the brain. I don't really know how it works.
It's just really cool.
Regardless, it doesn't look like anything they have on him besides the little thing in the back of the neck, and it's epic. But that's pretty cool. Would you do it?
Yeah.
Would
fuck
you?
Yeah.
Would you invasively add something into your body in order
Oh
to?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. If it was free, shit.
I doubt it would be free though.
I mean, testers.
And would you really want the free version of something being
Sure,
free?
why
You, sir, are going to get rich then because someone's going to get paid a lot of money to be the tester pilots for those things. Speaking of children, remember, selling plasma isn't your only option out of poverty. Testing pharmaceutical medications is also a great option.
Yes, that too.
It's my public service announcement for backpackers. that should be a
Give
shtick.
blood and give plasma. Plasma.
Sell your future babies. It's a pleasant way to put that one, I guess. It's another option.
Oh, man.
Going on, you can go test groupers. You're been test group for like movies. You're gone to the sneak previews movies. I saw Borat before that ever was supposed to come out, and the fact that there was a full blown penis shown on screen, despite the fact that yes, I understand that it's horrible, how uncomfortable. Like the fact that society had made it at that point in time, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
When they threw it out there. That was
Nobody wants to see a fucking schlong.
Theater left silent. The only other time I ever watched a movie theater end as quietly as I had seen a movie theater end from the sneak preview of Borat was Hard Candy, with the girl from. It's a quick little skittle got there, Buttercup. Juno.
She's not in Hard Candy.
Yes.
That's her?
Ellen Page. Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
that
not.
was. Yeah,
For
it
real?
is. Yeah.
No.
Check it out. That was Ellen Page's
Really?
breakout role. Yes. And for any of you who have not seen it, just be prepared. Prepare yourself. No spoilers here.
It is. What the fuck? Oh, no, it's dude from Fargo.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. Right on.
I just got through the first season of Fargo again, and you know what? Epic. If you have not watched the first season of Fargo, I cannot recommend it enough.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. That was, and the fact that that came out the same time as True Detective, right around about, to go from Matthew McConaughey-isms to like straight to Bad Santa. My brain is dying on me. I need to get healthier. I'm working on it. I'm gonna make myself into a fucking experiment.
Billy Bob Thornton. There you
Billy
go.
Bob Thornton. Thank you. Yes. Fudge crackers. Working on it. I'm gonna work on a world. I'm gonna do it for you guys and show you that.
So what happens when you get
possible.
old? Your memory just goes like that?
Apparently,
Shit.
yeah, man. I don't know where. Since when? Christ Almighty.
It's like everything just gone.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton to Matthew McConaughey-isms. That was a moment for philosophy to be automatically sewn into the fabric of everyday reality for people.
You watched Bill Burr's show, right? The
F is for
F is
Family?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
The Matthew McConaughey character.
Yes.
That guy just makes the show. Just like,
That show
That's a
is made. That show makes itself in the fact that you want to talk about perfect timing. That was someone who saw a gap and was. I often explain football or life like football, like gridiron football. Every once in a while, you see a gap and you make a run for it. Otherwise, you do a lot of running into a line and having to reset and start up again. And eventually, you're gonna find your little gap and you're gonna make it through. Just fucking keep looking for your gap and keep trying. If you don't try, then it's less opportunities. We went from Stranger Things to It to all of these Steven Spielberg kind of classic Lean on Me, also Stephen King kind of feeling
Stand by
melodrama.
Me.
Stand
Lean
by
on
Me,
Me.
yeah, Stand by Me. Melodramas, and then
we got to
Come
keep
on,
a
that.
book
It's
of like all
perfect.
these random names you're coming up with because they're
we can do it
just
all day.
alternate titles for shows.
We'll throw a
They're
whiteboard.
fucking great.
I've been looking at
Lean
the
on Me.
scientist like whiteboard. Lean on me.
Definitely better than Stand by Me. Lean on me. Yeah, easy. You checked out that Jordan Peterson guy? Fucking hilarious. I don't know if this dude's a troll. Or he's just that like conservative and religious, like, but he's fucking hilarious.
What do you think? He's like the new version of Stephen Colbert.
No, he's been around for a while, but I didn't really. He's got like a internet radio show, and he's always talking shit about black people, and black people will call into his show and be like, "Why you gotta be so mean to us? Like, why you gotta just talk shit about us?" No, not Jordan. No, not him. Fucking Jesse Lee Peterson. Sorry, I said Jordan Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson. Going to that, do that slut maker one. This shit's so good. Do
Part 2?
no, I'll go down. Yeah, that's it.
Going through a divorce. And then I start dating after that. And it's like, well, if going out on a date with a guy makes me a slut, then that's just what I'm gonna be.
I don't think going out on a date makes you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker.
Christ. Oh, that's a savage moment.
Oh,
Are you a Christian?
I am not.
You're not a Christian?
No.
And where do you put yourself as concerning religion?
Maybe I'm multi-religious, if that makes sense.
No.
I am a person who believes in faith and goodness holistically.
Mason, I've noticed that women today, not all, but mostly liberal women, they seem to be, they pretend to be tough, but yet when you see these type of movements, they are saying that they're weak. You know, they need laws, and they accuse men. It's as though they don't know how or have the strength to say no to a man or to walk away. Whereas when I was growing up, women were stronger. And if they didn't want to do anything with you, you knew it. You said, okay, fine. You know, what happened to these women that they're so weak that they need to pass laws? They're always complaining. They're starting movements. While yet you hear them say, "Oh, I'm a strong woman. I'm strong. I'm wonderful. it's like they're lying. Lies in there somewhere, because a strong woman or a strong person wouldn't be crying and passing laws and trying to hurt other people. They would defend themselves. They would go on with life because life offers so many challenges. Are they weak or are they strong? I don't know what they are and what they want. And it's mostly liberal women, feminist kind of people.
We have found that it actually takes great strength to come forward to tell your story. And
it doesn't take much strength to do that.
It does.
It takes strength to say, hey, guy, I don't want to have sex with you. Leave me alone.
There were plenty of white, privileged oppressors that took advantage of the system to continue to abuse and oppress African Americans who are great contributors of society.
Where did that happen and when?
All throughout history. As soon as white people started going to Africa and pulling people against their will onto slave ships.
That didn't happen. That's a made-up lie. The blacks were sold to the Arabs by other blacks, elitist black, rich black kings, and then those Arabs took them to other parts of the world and sold them. The white man didn't just go to Africa to get some Negroes. That was made up.
Either way, they were sold against their will. A human being is not to be bought or sold. They're not a commodity.
But it wasn't about a so-called white privileged man.
Okay, let's substitute the word white for Arab then. That's fine.
Arabs who did it.
He's got to be trolling.
Maybe that was wrong, but the white man didn't do it. So likewise,
but it was still wrong.
It's such a very interesting point you're making, because likewise, these liberal women, they could be making up lies too, just like you thought that was
People
true.
just tuning in. It's Jesse
They could be
Peterson.
pushing a lie as well with a hidden agenda. Is that possible?
No.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
I consider myself a human being.
How about a feminist?
I consider myself a human being.
How about a feminist?
I consider myself a human being.
I can see that you're a human being, but do you consider yourself a feminist?
It's a good question. That's something that's been asked of me quite a lot recently.
Sure, yeah. And what is feminism?
Okay. Well, feminism is a movement both socially and anthropologically in recent modern history, although it has existed previously throughout civilization in many cultures. When
How do you not have a better answer prepared for that? That's rough.
That's amazing. You're talking a whole lot of mess. But this dude's just so composed, and his answers are just so fucking blunt, and just like, you gotta be.
He's got to be trolling. It's a troll for sure. He's got to be.
Nobody's a preacher.
I don't. So is Mace.
Like,
so is Mace. Just because you're a preacher doesn't mean you can't troll somebody. Can you become an ordained preacher online and marry your friends? Isn't that the shtick?
It's funny when he asks people, he's just asking, do you love white people? They're just like, I love all people. No, but do you love white people? I love all people. Do you love white people? Yes, but not all of them. That's amazing.
So, what else is going on in the community these days? You know anything else?
Do I know anything else? I don't know shit.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I played video games the other night for about 12 hours straight.
What were you playing?
Elite Dangerous.
How was it?
Fucking epic, dude.
How did that, man?
It's insane.
The learning curve.
Well, I
just
bought
pops
this
up me.
computer. I put it together and whatnot. And now I have a full-fledged, like,
Give me some hardware deets.
super fucking heavy hardcore fucking computer. It's fucking decked out.
You built it yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it came in parts and whatnot. Just put everything together. It's actually really simple. It's
Did you
almost like,
order it
it was
as a
almost like more.
package?
Yeah, it was almost. It was like a kit,
Okay.
almost. Basically,
Did it have like key instructions?
huh?
Have like key instructions with it? A little booklet?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's epic.
Yeah, just like put this here, put this here. It's like all right. But yeah, put it together. It's all good. But yeah, I mostly got it for editing, and now I have it for video games too. So put it on extra ultra HD 4K.
But if you do you have
Holy
an extra,
shit, man!
Do you have an extra ultra 4K HD TV like screen that you play it off of?
Yeah, yeah.
Because can't you only go as powerful as your
It was-
monitor?
yeah, it was. I don't know. It came with like a fucking small monitor. Like it was fucking ridiculous. Like,
That's
you got this
annoying.
yeah, you got this ridiculous computer. And then it comes with a monitor like that. Big, and you're just like, huh? Looks epic though. Like, yeah. Anyway, those fucking games. Thing is, you don't sleep when you play video games, or at least I don't. Just like I don't have any
If you
time.
have a productive life.
I don't have
like-
any time in the day to do it, and then
This is the thing. Like, if you don't want to
if I
have
do it, I'll do it at
be
the end
your
of the day.
career,
Like,
it's difficult.
which I guess
Having
is a
that
good
balance,
thing.
everything balanced,
I
right?
guess it's a good thing, though. Unless I get stuck on there.
Well, I mean,
It's 1 in the morning. I'm just like, oh shit.
it can be a good, healthy alternative and a great way to save money. Like, I've always looked at it as an investment, right? If you're going to go based off the amount of money you can invest in something, the amount of entertainment and hours that you can get back from it, as a utility, it's the most efficient utility you got, right? But that's what I'm saying. Or what about a board game? There's something to the fact of like a board game and having it in front of you. Does this just mean that I'm old? Getting older? Is that...
No, it's
why
the
is there
competition.
nostalgia
It's the
to it?
competition.
You say that, but you can essentially play board games now online, and like one of the greatest things that I found on VR, fucking around with the Oculus Rift, was getting into. You can download this thing that's essentially a playroom. You can go in there with other people, and anyone can spawn in this room, and you have something like 30,000 different games available. So you're playing board games and stuff with individuals inside this room, and you have an endless amount. So
Yeah, but
you're
it's also
playing
like-
VR to play board games with somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's the same.
one of the best
thing.
things
It's
I've-
kind of. It reminds me of like real books versus digital books.
Which do you prefer?
Real book.
Yeah.
I can't read.
Some-
I can't do it. I have so many books on my laptop that are. I can't read them. Like I can't do it.
read it, but there's something
Can't do it.
Sorry, world. There's something about just the actual, like.
Well, when you finish
I'm
a-
a bibliophile for sure.
When you
Like,
finish a book, there's like a sense of
nothing's more
accomplishment.
attractive to me than a woman with a book.
And the
you're just
fact
like,
that you're finishing a book's such an accomplishment, and then as you're reading it, it's almost like a progressive thing. Well, it is a progressive thing, but you can actually see how far you go, and once you reach the end goal of finishing that book, there's a sense of accomplishment. And I think reading
about,
something
like-
with digital media, you can't really visualize how far you've got into this book. And I think that's where it just like I don't know, it's weird. It's just like I
know.
can't stay focused with it. You know,
normally in
like,
the bottom corner they have it out of however many.
yeah,
however
yeah,
many.
but still, it's just like it's just not just
it's not as satisfying for you.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just I can't keep engaged in it. I don't know.
Well, how do you feel about audiobooks?
Audiobooks are great.
When we were driving, my family all hopped together into the van and drove off to like Florida growing up. Family trip because my entire family scared shitless of flying, and just lost where I was going with that. And that cough, the cough just coughed it straight out of me, coughed the idea out of my mouth.
God, we both sick. That fucking sucks.
The feel of paper, smell paper, man. I don't know. Oh, we were driving and listened to first like 3 Harry Potter books on an audio tape, and it was good. It was good. But do you get something less out of? Do you get less out of a book by listening to it on audio than if you were to read it? Or do you think it depends on the person?
I think you have to use more brain power to actually read a book, right?
I feel
So-
like it's more likely to stick into your head. It's more likely to go with.
I agree with
However,
that for sure.
how many times have you been reading a book and you've just zoned the fuck out?
Yeah, yeah.
And then like had to been like, what happened last 20 pages?
Yeah, but then you can go back and be like, well, fuck, I
Which
stopped
is
paying
also-
attention like after 20 pages. Like, is that my ADD acting up or some
but
shit? Like,
Can reading be considered a form of meditation? So I've been meditating every day, which whatever, fuck, it's not like a woohoo kind of thing.
God, you're gay.
But no,
kidding.
I'll take a moment,
Kidding.
like 10 minutes in
Don't come
the
after
morning
me.
or 10 minutes before midnight, and I'll sit down with a fucking YouTube guided meditation right through, and it helps. It's awesome. It's helpful. But you find it where you lose yourself. The entire point is to just try and get connected to your body. Go through, sit there, and whatever. You can even just sit in a chair and start with the top of your head and just try to become active with the entire body and go back to it, because you find that your mind starts to wander as you're going through these muscles in your body. And as long as you keep coming back to yourself, you'll always check back in. And so as your mind wanders, it kind of helps you centralize. And if you're reading a book and you zone out and you lose an hour and a half as you've been thinking about something, as you just have 20 pages roll by and you realize you don't even... Is that not a form of meditation?
sure, I guess you can.
Children are meditating every day?
Huh?
You're like forced to read a book at school. They say that schools where children are forced to meditate for a period out of every day end up having much better test results, which, whatever. It's test results. Yeah. Memorizing and upchucking is not necessarily full, full usage of information, full digestion. There you go. Digestion
I always
of
hated
information.
being forced to read books.
I did it, but
hated
it
that.
was spite. So much spite
hated
explains so much out of my life, and the fact that I would be told to read a book and it was almost
No,
expected
I'd rather
that I
read something
wouldn't
else.
read it. But the teachers almost like expect that you didn't read it, and because they expect you didn't read it, was just kind of like a fuck you. This inner thing to me was like, I'm gonna finish this book 4 days ahead of everyone else just so I can sit there and be a smart ass.
Yeah.
Just gonna sit there in class and foreshadow the things that are in the future in the book and just ruin
Yeah,
the
I
lesson
fucking hate
plan.
it. That was a big deterrent, I think. Or it just made it less enjoyable.
Yeah, it depends
You
on
know,
the book.
like, remember Old Man in the Sea? I didn't want to read that shit.
If you could
I did,
choose the books.
but I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I actually did it on my own will. I hate being told what to do.
I know. I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. I think in general, if
Problems with
they had it so
authority.
that children could choose what books it is that they read, that they
Right,
would
right.
find themselves to be the children themselves that have themselves would be more invested.
Right.
And
exactly.
if you're going to be, and then go through it. I
give
say
that,
this,
you
but,
give that illusion of choice, and then it's more of then
Yeah.
it's like, well, I get to choose. I get to actually read that.
but you get to choose your book for, like, growing up, where I have things like a humanities class or something. We could choose our book for summer reading, and the fact of the matter is, still no one did it. So maybe that's an argument against.
What was it, like 5th, 6th grade? It was like you had to read like 3 books throughout a semester or whatever. You could choose your own.
And still no one did it.
I fucking did that.
I did it,
That's
but I
sweet.
chose stupid ones. I chose Henry Dickens.
Oh, I chose. I think one I did
like Tale of Two Cities or some shit.
I did like a Warcraft book, one of the Warcraft books.
Nice.
And I did Doom.
Nice.
Doom the book. I think there might have been a Star Trek book in there somewhere.
I mean,
There's a certain
it's weird
genre
though.
I gravitated towards.
As I've been sitting here and I've been finding myself, my memory going a little bit to shit. I've been like really working towards the fact and idea of how is it that you start to replenish it? How is it that you can get something to be better? How is they can start to work on it, because it's a weird thing to also
Reading and then
see
those
yourself.
fucking games on
This is what I found. Reading is a big one. Card games is a big one. There's little things that are just exercises upon working your brain. I remember a girl that we grew up with. I met her parents on one of those awkward after date kind of things, and the mom was chaperoning had basically said that she made her daughter choose something physical and something mental, and that as long as she did that, she didn't really care what her daughter did. As long as her daughter was always doing, she had chosen. So what she chose was she'd run cross country and track and field, and then during the nights she had done there was like the problem solvers group. That you remember this? Our school was very good at it.
Mathletes?
Essentially, like mathletes, only more engineering.
Is it like future? Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name. I wasn't a part of it.
Neither was I. But that was the whole point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit.
And how you holding in there? Broke an hour.
Shit.
You got a headache.
I fucking better not get any more sick than this, but I know it's coming. It's gonna be shit.
How many days are you on?
The first day I felt it.
No, this is the first day. You felt it.
Yeah. Woke up this morning. I was like, fuck.
No.
Went to IKEA. Got some fucking shit from IKEA. Man, IKEA's so satisfying.
IKEA is satisfying,
God,
but I can't tell if I'm satisfied by IKEA because I'm now comfortable with it or because I feel satisfied I survived it every time I leave.
Maybe I just like buying stuff.
You know? Yeah. Well, I think that's a big part of it. A big one. I just
feel like you survived it.
Like
you always feel like I survived IKEA when it's over.
But it is. It's every time I do it, just Fight Club comes in the head. And just like I'm at IKEA, Fight Club. Do I really need this? No.
I'm always with a girl, and it always comes into like you're in the kitchen and you're playing out a scene of an argument that you would actually have in a kitchen, and it's just so poetically justice. You're like, whatever. At least we know now. We're never meant to build a kitchen together. But I mean, to be fair, no one's really probably should build a kitchen with me. I'm just too stubborn on it. I'll tell you how to build a kitchen, thank you very much.
Where's the knife rack?
You got a fucked up flow here. That flow is going to screw up your service.
Oh, I got a nice oven in my place.
Do you?
It's new.
Electric or gas?
It's electric.
Electric? How do you feel about cooking on an electric stovetop?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It ain't no gas grill.
How annoying is that? I mean, technologically speaking, an electric grill or electric flat top is supposed to be better. It's a much more exact temperature. It's got much more control over it. It should.
I don't know if I feel like I have much more control on a gas grill. If I can control the flame.
You have more options with an open flame. With an open flame, you can flambe and you can catch something on fire. You can actually cook or roast a chili directly over an open flame on a stovetop.
Yeah. An electric
That's
one.
the thing that gets me. An electric one, you can't do that.
Right.
This being said, if you're to saute off whatever, if I want to caramelize onions, technically speaking, to do it in an electrical pan, it's less likely that it'll be messed up. It's more, you have more control over it. It's more
When I was working at Va Bene, and we had eight flame grills.
Yeah.
Or flame tops. What are you calling them?
Stovetops.
Stovetop. Yeah, stovetop.
Mayo Clinic longevity diet.
You have eight open flame, and you can just fucking, you're just doing one of them. Like,
I feel like it's less wasteful too because whatever you keep, like the whole name of service, right? Is speed. You're just trying to go as fast as you can and most efficient as you can and have the best product. Which means if I'm doing steaks or I have steaks in my station, I'll keep a cast iron skillet over an open flame and just let it sit there and get searing.
Of course.
Just searing. I feel like that, for some reason, I may be wrong, but the wastage of, I mean, I know that I am wrong. The wastage of gas is far more wasteful than the electricity of down there. But I wonder why that is that you don't have this. It's probably because they have glass. Excuse me. It's probably because they have glass tops that you don't have more electric things in the kitchen. Stovetops, at least, because those metal ones you can bang around and it's easier for you to clean. And then if you have an induction burner, that's when you go off.
Well, I don't know it takes a while for those things to heat up, right? It's not instant.
Not technically.
I guess this one that I got, it's new and it's fucking nice. And
technically, if you're using an induction burner or you actually have to have a stainless steel pan to use on it, like that is the most efficient, the quickest way to heat up anything. Period.
Yeah. But if you want to sear something, but if you get a fucking open flame,
different.
If you get an open flame, you can just blast that shit and it's gonna be hot in fucking seconds. You want to
sear but there's a difference between an induction burner and an electrical.
Yeah.
An induction has to work with a certain material. These electrical ones are like they heat up a hot plate.
Yeah. God bless. Jeez.
With glass over it, and then the glass itself it heats up. But That's all I got today. I'm sick. Feeling a little under the weather. I'm sorry, world. No, fuck you. I'm not sorry. I give myself to you. Is that not enough? Take it. Take it all. It's been an absolute pleasure for you joining us today.
Oh,
For any of you that are there.
We're gonna have to come back here later this week and do another one.
Yeah.
See how I feel tomorrow. Maybe I'll.
We appreciate you. Don't ever forget that.
For those 5 people that are viewing right now, pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah. We love you guys. Remember, follow us. Burn White Toast. We'll be producing some more material, and whenever we get
Remember,
the
if
shit
you're
together
bald,
with the rest,
bald is beautiful.
Bald's not just beautiful. Bald is alpha.
Bald's alpha male. Are you an alpha male?
That's a t-shirt.
Bald is
Bald
alpha.
is alpha.
You heard it here first.
You did. Love you all long time.
Juicy Lucy.
Juicy Lucy.
Oh my goodness. That was good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Burnt White Toast Podcast.